Warm greetings, everyone. On behalf of W4W Foundation, a think tank instituted as Citizens Collective, we welcome you to another session of Wednesdays for Water. The conversation today is on community water management in Odisha. Before we get into the session, a brief overview of what W4W does and Wednesdays for Water. The objective of Wednesdays for Water is to engage in conversations with water experts, grassroots practitioners, policymakers, and youth to explore the complex intertwined issues associated with water and the possible solutions they are working on or seeking for. The Wednesdays for Water has expanded since then to have more activities like the Friday Waters and the Monday Munching with Women for Waters, besides organizing on-site water workshops, water walks and talks, seminars, special courses, conference panels to continue the water conversation in various possible ways. In Friday Waters, we have water talkies, water thesis club, water reading club, water arts, and meet a maestro. These happens once in a while when we find speakers, but Wednesdays for Water remains our signature series. As you may have noticed that we are already running 176th session and we are already booked until the end of November. So we really hope that this becomes the talk of the town, as many of our speakers often think that W4W stands for Wednesdays for Water, and we take pride in that. However, W4W stands for We for Water, Walk for Water, Worry for Water, Wisdom for Water, Wheels for Water, and many more things. As you can imagine, water remains a constant for us. At W4W, we believe water conversations are crucial for water conservation. Do visit our website, www.w4w.in, to get more details, but importantly, we are inching towards 400 sessions, making us the longest water conversation ever taken place on water. All these conversations are available to you as open access, and we take really pride to talk about having water education to make everybody's business. My name is Mansee Bal Bhargava from the House of W4W, and I'm here to host our wonderful speakers today to discuss the water management system in Odisha. And we are super excited to have my recently conducted another session with them in International Association of the Study of the Commons. And my speakers are actually taken from there, and we are really delighted to have them. We have with us Pranati Das, Prasanta Mohapatra, who also presented in the IASC Commons Conference in UMass Amherst in June. And that is when I invited them to be here and be part of the 600 plus family of speakers. We also invite Suryabarti Majhi as our discussant for the day. Discussant is our actually representative of the citizen, so is also the showstopper of the session. Before I invite Pranati to make the first presentation, a brief biography of hers, and I now know her work much more than before I was knowing. She is an inclusive development strategist with over 50 years of demonstrated experience of leading projects and policy reforms in WASH, women's rights, gender equity and social inclusion, climate adaptation, women's economic empowerment. She's currently the state program lead at Odisha Urban Management Center, a not-for-profit working closely with the national and state government towards making inclusive and sustainable cities. Previously, she worked in UN agencies like UNDP, UNFPA, and global non-for-profit organizations like Landesa and Concern Worldwide. Pranati is an avid traveler and trekker, and we had good time at IASC, I must say, tell you, at UMass. She's an economist by education and has an MBA from Xavier's Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Thank you so much, Pranati. Good to meet you, but it was more fun to have you personally at UMass Amherst. The screen is yours. Please make your presentation, and then we will start our next presentation and follow it up with conversations. At this moment, it is also a warm welcome to all the participants here. We have actually touched upon nearly 10,000 participants who have joined us over time. And it's a welcome to all of you as well, and gratitude to all of you to make our conversations meaningful. Over to you, Pranati. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mansee. It is indeed a pleasure to be a part of your W4W. It is so interesting and it is so inspiring that you have been connecting with people and inviting them to speak. So this is a good platform to present not just our work, but about the issues and challenges of the region where we work. So thank you once again for inviting me to this session.
Thank you.
Let me start my presentation.
Yes, please.
Is it visible?
Yes, visible, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
Sorry.
very good evening to one and all, and thanks once again for this opportunity to talk about Odisha's community-led decentralized water management. So this is a very
Sorry. May I request you to make it slideshow, please? Yeah, thank you. Sorry.
slideshow.
Full present, yeah.
It is slideshow only, Mansee.
Okay, because I'm not seeing it on YouTube and my screen as slideshow. So let me just check. Yes, it's not on the slideshow mode either on the YouTube. But you may continue. Please continue. Yeah.
So this is such an unique initiative of Odisha that has created space for the community women, the women SHGs, to not just be a part of water management, but lead water management from the front. So this initiative is enabling women SHG members to lead water supply management. So if we give an overview of Odisha, Odisha has got 5 municipal corporations, 48 municipalities, and 62 notified area councils. The population is 7 million.
Madam, the slides are now moving.
Not moving?
Yes, and also there's a voice disruption. I'm seeing both in YouTube as well as on my Zoom. So I wonder what is happening. The voice is also disrupting, but I can hear very clearly, and YouTube is also hearing clearly. And people are watching you on YouTube, let me tell you.
It is visible now?
Slides are visible, but moving for me, it is moving. But Prasanta is saying not moving.
Yeah, it has
You are
moved
on
now.
slide 2, right?
It has moved now. It has moved.
It
Okay,
has moved now? Okay, fine.
Okay, thank you.
So the total urban population is 7 million and the total urban households is 1.56 million. So the state is covering around 156,000 square kilometer, and it is based at the east coast of Bay of Bengal. So the major issues in the state was like the groundwater level issues is that challenges and issues of the ground was not identified. Like Odisha is a place where it gets lot of rainfall, and having the piped water supply to the households is itself a challenge, convincing them to choose the piped water supply over the borewell or the well, because if you dig 100 feet you get water, even 30 feet you get water in some places, and in the near the rivers it is if you dig 10 feet you get water. So convincing people about having a piped water supply itself is a challenge, and understanding the ground level issues such as like whether the household has got a meter, whether the household has got a formal connection, whether the household is paying the bill or not. So all these problems were not identified at the ground level. Consumers were not paying water charges as it was difficult to know whether meter is installed or not. Even if water meters were installed, meters were not functional. Like once the meter is installed, it needs to be verified, it needs to be certified that it is functioning. So that needs a level of work. Then lack of awareness among the citizens on the water quality and how it impacts the health, their family's health. It was not easy for the consumers to lodge complaint about piped water supply if water supply is disrupted, if water supply is irregular. So there was no means to lodge the complaint, reach to the water supply division. The department did not have enough human resources to raise awareness, collect revenue for the piped water supply. The consumer database was not even updated. The department did not know actually how many connections are really functioning, how many connections have got a meter, how many meters are really functioning. So these were the underlying issues on the day-to-day basis that was not coming up. So given these challenges, the state thought of roping in the community women to help in the water supply management. So to ensure the last mile service delivery and to bridge up the gap between the consumer and the water supply system. So the directives were issued by the state, like the state filed a legislation to engage the SHG women as the community partners to partner in streamlining the entire pipe water supply system. Institution building like SHGs were formed under the National Urban Livelihood Mission and Mission Shakti, and these women were trained on the water supply, on how to test water and how to generate bill using an MPOS machine. So in this way, around 800 women are now linked to the water supply system, and they are delivering services on day-to-day basis in 115 ULBs of Odisha. So what exactly they do? Now, if we look at the transition of these women from marginalization to community leader, these marginalized women were not coming out of house even, and they were not like exposed to any official environment. But with this directive of the government, the capacity building was done, and they started hand in hand with the water supply system officials to ensure that the water supply system is in place, the bills are generated on time, the revenue is collected, awareness is created on the ground. So their journey started like this. So this not just gave them a livelihood, but it ensured an
Sorry
inclusive.
to interrupt again, Pranati. Your slides are not moving, I think.
It's not moving now?
Are you on slide 2?
No, I'm in slide 5, 6.
So we are still on slide 2. Now on 6, but do you mind going through every slide just for some seconds before?
Okay, sure.
Yes, thank you. I can see other slides, but it is not moving in the YouTube and Zoom.
Okay.
I just want to know from other participants, could you see the slide movement?
So, no, the slides were not moving.
Yes,
Okay.
so as it's the same. Please
So-
go to slide 3 about the issues. You may just show it for a few seconds and then we can go. Yeah. Yeah, you already
these-
spoke about it. Yes.
Yeah, so these were the issues, and I think in the projection mode it is not moving. Is it
No,
moving
even
now?
in this mode, it was not moving. Even in the
Is it moving
PowerPoint
now?
mode, it was not. Not if we are on slide 3. Can you do slide 4 also, please?
Then in the projection mode it is not moving.
Do you
So
want
would
me
you
to
like
play
to
or
do the
you are
presentation?
fine? No, it is not in slide show mode, first of all, and it is also not moving.
No, when I put in slideshow mode, you are saying that it is not moving.
First of all, slideshow mode is not coming on Zoom and YouTube from beginning.
Is it
And
coming now?
No, it's not coming from.
So would you
still.
like to present from your side?
I don't mind doing that. I can offer that to you. So yeah.
Yeah, I
you
think
may
in the
close the
interest of
presentation.
public, yeah, I think that
Yes.
would be good. So let me stop sharing.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry for the.
Do you see the screen?
No, not yet. Yeah, it is.
Okay. And please confirm if you see it moving. Okay, slideshow. No. Is it moving? No, I think no.
It is not even in
I
slide.
have no. That is another problem because I have 3 screens. So I'll just check. Do it better. Okay, please tell me if it is moving now. Okay. Moving?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful. So this is slide 4. Yeah, you already talked about the project. And you wanted to be on slide 6, right?
Yes. Next slide, please.
Yes.
So I was talking about how this transformation happened on the part of these SHG women who were once marginalized and now they are leading and ensuring the inclusive, equitable water management in Odisha. Next.
Next slide.
Yes. Yeah. So these Jalsati, we call in Odia, they are water friends, and they are knocking each and every door to ensure that universal coverage of pipe water supply is there. Installation of meters at each consumer's household is ensured with accurate reading of the water quantity used. Generating bills as per the meter reading by using an MPOS machine at the doorstep, ensuring water quality through periodic sample tests at the doorstep, sensitizing community about the critical impact of the water quality on the family's health, building trust and awareness about the municipal pipe water supply and reducing use of groundwater, and seamless connect with the community to identify ground level issues and challenges. So basically, the Jalsathis are the bridge between the department and the community, and there is no ambiguity on the part of the households now that whether there is someone listening to my challenges, or whether if there is a disruption in supply, who do I call and tell. So these women are basically from the SSGs from the same area, and they are well convergent with the route and where the households located and who are the households. With one or two interaction, they even know each of the household by name, and the households know these Jalsathis by name. They have their phone number. Whenever they have got problem, they just give them a ring and tell that, oh, my water supply is disrupted. Oh, there is a there is a leakage near my house, or maybe the meter is not functioning, or even the new connection. When the new connection is given, the meter is installed, that needs a certification and the first reading which is recorded. So that is done by these Jalsathis, and month to month they go and take the meter reading. So sometimes it so happens that when they generate a bill, the household doesn't give the money upfront, so they get the bill, and they are called again when the household wants to make payment. So when the household makes a payment, the Jalsati gets 7%. So here it is also economical for the department that they are not deploying specific persons for generating bill or collecting bill. It is on commission basis. These women generate bill, and when the payment is received, they get straight away 7%. So there is a portal, Sujog portal, with the department that tracks, because this is the bill is collected through a electronic machine, so that gets updated in the portal, and the Jalsathi's 7% is secured there. So at the month end, the department pays these Jalsathis the amount. So the system is streamlined. So can you please go to the next slide?
I will. Yeah. It changed, by the way. Yeah. Did it change for you?
Yeah. Actually, these when we talk about the Jalsathi's income and the role, like in the corporations, the Jalsathis are doing excellent job, and they are even getting a monthly commission of about 10,000 to 15,000 rupees. The lower municipalities and NSCs, the notified area councils, they are getting bit less depending on the number of households they have got. So about in the urban space, these Jalsathis are distributed and connected to a particular number of households and in a particular area they are assigned with. So there is a very clear demarcation that which area belongs to which Jalsati. So these Jalsatis across 115 ULBs, about 800 Jalsatis are working. So when the work started, there was a challenge in terms of the capacity of these Jalsatis actually. The Jalsatis are from the SHGs, they had never worked in a system and they literally didn't know what was their role. So, so the Housing and Urban Development Department laid a very systematic training and capacity building framework in partnership with Urban Management Center. So these training and capacity building approach was totally as per the need. Like the Jalsatis were categorized into different like level 1, level 2, level 3 based on their education level, based on their understanding and all. And there was a total ecosystem centric framework design, and the learning was in the participatory mode, less in classroom, more in the field, and also using a lot of tools like videos, role play, and literally explaining how a Jalsati would be knocking a door, what are the things he's explaining to the household, and how the household would react. So a role play basis, it is trained. Then digital literacy is a very big component in the system because they are using an electronic machine, they use SMS, they need a lot of applications to document like scanning and sharing information, reporting to the department that this is the problem, taking meter reading, photographs, geotag photograph, and all of that. So digital literacy was categorically incorporated in the training component, and they have been trained. Then communication skill, which also accounts for a large part of their role, like how they should interact with the household, how what specific answer they should give to the household when a specific problem is reported, and what should be their behavior, what should be their attitude, and how patiently they should respond to. So communication skill was designed in a way, and the training was imparted to them. Next one. So as I mentioned that this is designed based on the adult education pedagogy, and it takes into account the education level, their age. A sample test is done how they are learning, and what are the gaps in learning, what language. And a lot of case study basis, group work, and interaction with stakeholders, and they're trained how to deal with the officials. Their assessment is done, pre-assessment and post-training assessment is done to measure that what kind of impact the training is doing. Next. So specific learning modules have been designed. For example, their roles and responsibility, a specific module for water quality test, then use of the MPOS machine, what is the step-by-step, how they should operate it, for the communication skill, and for the consumers' complaints like grievance redressal, what are the specific issues coming up from the ground, and they have been categorized into different categories with specific answers and probable answers. Then digital literacy.
Next.
Next slide, Mansee.
Shall I go next slide? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So similarly, it was very much essential to have a symbiotic relationship between these community partners and the officials. So initially there was a challenge, like the officials did not know how to handle with these community partners. Gender sensitive communication was required. Then how they should deal with these community partners who are not so educated, and mostly these our water supply department officials expected that they would know the technical things, but they did not know the technicalities of water supply system. So the officials were trained how to interact with these jalsatis and how to monitor them, what kind of language they should use so that they understand the technicalities, and how we can simplify the technical language into general commoners language. So this way these officials were also trained, and more of the interactions were set in that context, and weekly meetings with these jalsatis, listening to them, their challenges, not just for the water supply system, but even on the way if they face any other challenges like gender-based challenges, or people are not behaving well with them, or if someone has got problem at home, she's not able to go. So being more empathetic, more understanding, considering the women's issues and all, so that was incorporated, and these officials were trained. Next one. So yeah, so what is the impact? The impact is that earlier the department was struggling to collect even 10% of the revenue. So after the jalsatis have been engaged, 80% of the revenue is now collected. So that is the biggest, impact of this. Secondly, over these officials, how these community women are better. The official, as one point of time, we don't have so many workers to reach out to each and every household, and people are not very well conversant to pay online. So these jalsatis played a very critical role, nudging the household, and also putting them into a habit that this is the date the jalsati would come and will give me a bill and I have to pay. And also they played a role of the watchdog in the community, reporting the on the way challenges, like from the department side to the household. There's a long way the water goes. So wherever there is a problem, wherever there is a leakage, any issue, these jalsatis would be informed first, and they would inform the department. Similarly, if there is a water quality issue, if they find some problem in the water quality, it is immediately reported and the action is taken. Awareness is the other part, that household also understands that okay, municipality water is reliable and we must trust on this. Why should I waste money in pumping water, which is more expensive for the households? And also sometimes there is groundwater contamination issues, which needs a long process to clear it up and all. So this way, this model is a successful one, which was launched in 2019, and now it is functioning very well. And this has been adopted by the central government as the Amrit Mitra program, which recommends community partnership in managing piped water supply and awareness in the community. So here I stop, and then more deliberation will do with the questions coming in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pranati, for this wonderful overview, and also letting all of us know that it sits as a model to even take it up to the national scale. And now we can also see if how other scales are adapting to the model, because you also have to understand the cultural aspects of it. We will have more discussions. All participants are encouraged to put their questions or comments in the chat box, but we are running very short of time already. So we have to move on to our next presenter and a wonderful speaker as well, Mr. Prasanta Kumar Mohapatra, who served as an engineer-in-chief in Odisha Water Supply and Sewerage Board, Housing and Urban Development Department in the government of Odisha till May 2024. He did his graduation in civil engineering from NIT Rourkela and post-graduation in water resource engineering from IIT Kharagpur, MSc in sanitary engineering from IIT Delft, Netherlands. He has 37 years of experience in the implementation of water, sewerage and sanitation projects in Odisha. He was instrumental in bringing black water security through fecal sludge management by setting up 120 FSTPs in all the ULBs of the state. He was also responsible for piloting the treatment of grey water in urban Odisha. For the past 1 year, he is working as a senior expert in the technical support unit of SBM in Mohua, Government of India, based out of CPHWO. Thank you so much, Prasanta. Again, good to have you back again on the E mode. And the screen is yours. Please keep your presentation to the time limit so that we can have very good discussion afterwards. Thanks. Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mansee Madam, for a wonderful, introduction. Let me, without further ado, let me share my screen and then we discuss.
Yes, please. I'm not
Uh,
still seeing your screen, by the way.
Is it visible?
Not yet, actually.
Not yet? Is it
Not
full?
yet.
Let me do it again.
You see, that is why we always keep our presenters
Is it
PowerPoint with
visible now?
us. Yes, it is visible now. You may put
Full
it
screen?
slideshow. Yes.
Full screen?
Not yet. Yes, full screen. Please go ahead.
Is it moving?
Yes. So
Okay.
you see, I mean, just to let all the participants know, we all do all the testing and all, but actually when it comes to
Yeah,
real
when it
time,
comes,
there are
yeah,
always technical issues. We are all
these are
humans. Go
these are
ahead,
the
please,
challenges.
Prasanta.
These are the challenges, yes. So, Pranati Madam has made my life so simple. She talked about the engagement of SSGs, the Jal Sathis in Odisha, in management of water. In fact, uh, the government of Odisha in H&UD department, Housing and Urban Development Department, have also engaged the self-help groups. They are women and transgender in fecal sludge management in the state. So I will take you to the year 2017. In those days, in fact, we had a lot of issues in terms of urban sanitation, urban areas in all the ULBs. We had some degree of open defecation. The wastewater management was not attempted in all the cities. The state tried with centralized sewer system. The first was implemented in Puri with the network and STPs. And then, of course, in the last 2 decades or so, attempts were made to lay sewer line and construct STPs in cities of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack, and later on Sambalpur and Rourkela. Then we realized that centralized sewer system is not the solution in all the ULBs. There are several challenges. One is cost. The other aspects are, there are technical issues because of the typical coastal situation, typical geological situation, and the social conditions that didn't allow us to, go for the sewerage system. And as you know, all the houses, they have on-site sanitation systems. The toilets are connected to septic tanks and soak pits. And because there was no dedicated, facilities to treat the sludge, so it is no wonder that many of the river stretches were polluted. They were categorized into different categories. Category 1, 2, 4. 19 river stretches were found polluted by the Central Pollution Control Board. So the government in Housing and Urban Development Department framed a policy, the urban sanitation policy in 2017, to come out of this mess, to treat black water, grey water, and also manage solid waste. So this presentation is all about the what we did since 2017, how this state came with different policies and action plans, the strategy, and of course the engagement of the self-help groups. And this entire presentation is based on that. So the principles behind this sanitation were modeled on three pillars. The central theme was, we realized after doing that, what we did when we put these puzzles together, we found that we really built a climate resilient sanitation. And these three pillars, the first one is the people-centric initiatives. Right from the beginning, it was the vision of our then secretary, Mr. Mathivathanan, who was leading, from the front, you can say. He is the national hero. It was a community-driven model, and intentionally we engaged the women self-help groups, the transgender groups, and the slum dweller associations. And the other pillar is that because the black and gray water are, generated separately, why not treat them separately in a decentralized manner? And the third pillar was, when we designed the fecal sludge management, and when we thought of building the treatment systems to treat the fecal sludge, we designed the system in such a way that the scheme is environmentally sound. There is no use of any chemicals or energy, and the end use or the treated effluent is being reused. And in all the FSTPs, we intentionally put, or we generated solar energy so that it becomes energy neutral. As a result, with these three approaches, within a span of 3 to 4 years, we were able to saturate all the 115 urban local bodies in the state. And then when it came to operation and maintenance of these plants, and when we talk of the entire value chain of fecal sludge management, community partnership became the central theme. So we put the SHGs at the forefront, because building plants or building infrastructure was not the solution. So from infrastructure to services, how do we sustain that services? So in that, the women and transgender group played a very important role. So the central idea was that we didn't want to do or build infrastructure in terms of centralized network solution. So government started building and operationalizing decentralized solutions for on-site sanitations. So in the state, Pranati Madam, my previous speaker mentioned, we have a strong ecosystem of self-help groups, both in urban and rural areas. So they have been groomed over the years. There is a dedicated administrative department where they are being trained to on their livelihood through various mission programs. So the department leveraged them as Jal Sati in water supply, and we leverage also these groups for operation and maintenance of fecal sludge treatment plants, and they became a partner. They became a linkage between the community, between the ULB and the community. In all our plants, we also engage lab technicians. They are the women, again chosen by these SHGs, and we trained all these SHGs, including these lab technicians. So effectively, we integrated them in the FSM value chain, and you will no wonder even some of these in 4-5 cities, I will tell you later, they are also operating the cesspool vehicles to transport fecal sludge from household to the FSTPs, to the plants. And there were some decisions taken by the government which which paved the path for their engagement. Usually, when you build a plant, usually these plants were built by, in fact, contractors. The OWSSB was the nodal agency hand holding the ULBs. In fact, OWSSB was the institution which designed the system and floated tenders, selected the contractors, and handhold the ULBs to implement or to build these infrastructures, thereby building the capacity of the ULB officials in this way. And when the infrastructures were built, the other aspect was they could have easily been, we could have given O&M contract to the agencies who built them. But then we realize that is not the way, that is not the sustainable way. Can we do it through the community? If you come and see our plants, they are most likely parks. They look like parks. So, because they were, nature-based solutions, so they are not mechanized solutions. So it became very easy for us to engage these SHGs and to integrate them. So we integrated them, we took them not for their financial benefits, but also we took care of their overall growth. And we intend to skill them. And in fact, we achieved that with managerial and technical capacities. So they are able to handle the plant. So building their competencies, we brought a sense of pride and dignity in them. Many of these TGs, they were into, they are almost, you can say, socially outcast. When we took them, when they were deployed in our plants as managers to take care of the STPs, they felt a sense of pride. They were integrated into this society. If you look at the image, the left image, one of the TG group is receiving award from Mohua. And the second image, they are signing contract with the ULBs. And there were, several ways we followed a standard protocol in engaging them. Though they were available in each ULB, SHGs were present, they are doing a lot of odd jobs and doing a lot of their own livelihood programs. But then we followed a selection process. We floated, the ULBs floated expression of interest, and there were few who were taking interest. And when they were taking interest, we took them to exposure visits in the FSTPs. They were led by ULBs, our people, and our technical support groups. And when they were going through the plants, they understood the challenges and they understood the what they need to do. There were joint discussions, and the group that had lot of interest in them, we selected them, then we trained them, and then we signed contract with them so that they will be with us. We, as part of the training, they were onboarded during the handing over phase of the plant. The agency who was building the plant, we built in the contract that they will maintain the plant for 2 months by onboarding the SHGs, and they will be paying them for 2 months. So they were also paid. So it was not unpaid, so they were paid. So before we took over, before the ULB took over the plant, so they were already being trained in various aspects. And mostly the responsibility in these plants are that they will be deploying adequate number of people, their own groups. They will be responsible for periodic operational maintenance, like maintaining the lawns, maintaining the logbooks, and there were hardly any mechanical parts. So if there are some occasional pumps needs to be operated, switch on and switch off, something like that. So there were not much of hard work, but when it comes to, you saw in the previous photo, when it comes to when this sludge gets dried, so they need to be removed. They were given PPE kits, and the room or the office, they were given office space. We have a very good office space with AC room, very good laboratory facilities, changing rooms. Even they can change their room, change their clothes, they can take bath and all those things. So all those facilities were provided within the FSTPs. So it was a cozy environment for them. You can see in the picture, in all the FSTPs, we have lab operators. They are basically chemistry graduates, and we trained them. We trained them in the sense, during training, the Odisha Urban Academy was at the forefront. So we invited professors from local colleges. So they were taught on basic chemistry to carry out various tests on wastewater, and many of them were also sent to the CSE laboratory in Rajasthan, namely. So for the first time, these girls, they took flight and went to Rajasthan, so thereby also building their own exposure. And you can see the other photo, our TG groups in some of the cities, they are also operating successful vehicles as drivers. So they were integrated, and they feel a sense of pride, when they were begging on the intersections of the highway, and now they are here working with earning their livelihood. They feel proud. And when we saturated and when we onboarded the SHGs, it became a news in the entire country. So there are many visitors coming to, to see our plants in Odisha from different countries, neighboring countries, and from almost all the states of our country, from different states. And they used to ask us, how could you achieve that? So we saturated, we also engaged them. We did fantastic operation. They were, very fantastic doing in operation and maintenance. And when we did that, then the time has come to rewrite the sanitation policy in 2024. So in fact, it was rewritten and it was published in February 2024 in a national uh, workshop. We invited again a lot of people. Many people also came from outside the country to witness the part of our sanitation journey. And now in this new policy, our special focus is on slum dwellers, sanitation workers, smart monitoring of FSTPs. Then we need to integrate the grey water management. We have tackled fecal sludge management. Now what happens to the grey water? We did piloting, and then we are on the way, on the path to managing grey water so that no untreated water is left to the environment to pollute the water bodies on the environment. And also during the process, an initiative called Garima was initiated for the sanitation workers to take care of their sanitation, to their safety and dignity. And many social welfare schemes were linked for the benefit of the sanitation workers. And in line with the government, national government policy, Odisha has also adopted 100% mechanization. So, mechanization of desludging. So there is no manual desludging of septic tanks. There is a ERSU, emergency responsible sanitation authority or sanitation unit. If there is a need, there is a protocol that has been set up. If there is any need of manual entry, then necessary precautions, approvals, and all those things need to be taken. And finally, the new policy also looks at that all the treated was used water. We don't call it wastewater now. We call it now used water. They will be reused. So recently, the government of Odisha in H&UD department, they have uh, taken a step in the very right direction. They have prepared a draft treated water use policy. There has been a consultative process on that, and hopefully, with support of all the partners, that will be also finalized very soon in a month or two. So this has been a very great initiative in sanitation. So this journey, I was very fortunate to be part of this journey uh, since the inception of the policy, and before that, during the drafting of the policy and this new policy, building FSTPs. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, Prasanta, for keeping it so crisp and to the point, and definitely government project. And we have painted a picture on how it's also a classic example to look at PPPP, I will say, 4Ps put together. And there are a lot of questions coming up, but I would also like to inform all our participants and all three of you speakers here. Mati sir was our keynote speaker some time ago. When we closed the 2024 year, he did the closing ceremony or session for us. And
Okay.
that was kind of a delight to get everything from the horse's mouth. So he's informed about the session today. But let us move ahead because we have a wonderful discussant, and the role of discussant is always the showstopper of the session. And the discussant is the representative of the citizens. The discussant also has the full and free hand to ask naive to the most difficult questions to our speakers. And that is also, we at this moment, we would like to engage all the participants. Please use the chat box to put your questions and comments, and also you can raise your digital hand. It will be the role of the discussant to bring you in and also represent you. We do have a wonderful discussant today, as I mentioned earlier, and we would like to invite her, Suryabarti Majhi, who is a civil engineer with over 7 years of expertise in Odisha State Government's engineering services. As Deputy Project Engineer and later Project Engineer with the Odisha Water Supply and Sewerage Board, she led the planning and construction of 119 fecal sludge treatment plants under the Housing and Urban Development Department. Her work spans the entire sanitation value chain, from contaminant to safe disposal, advancing public health through innovative fecal sludge and septage management solutions. She also serves as the additional director of the Odisha Urban Academy, spearheading training for national and global delegates in urban water, sanitation, and inclusive governance. A pioneering woman engineer in a male-dominated sector, she has empowered over 700 women and transgender SSG members in the FSTP's operations, promoting gender inclusion and livelihood enhancement through sanitation infrastructure. Suryabarti, I hope I am pronouncing your name very correctly. But importantly, we have seen a very good picture and the role model that in now the Odisha water supply plays and Odisha used water system plays. But I am sure there are also a lot of challenges to put forth. Maybe we will get to know about those through the questions you are going to pose to the speakers. You may also pose the questions open to the participants. Let them engage. Over to you, Suryabarti.
Thank you, Mansee ma'am, for such a warm introduction. It was truly enriching to listen to Mohapatra sir narrate the transformative three-pronged approach of being community-driven, decentralized, and nature-based solution. This paradigm shift has fundamentally reshaped the ecosystem of used water management in Odisha, offering sustainable checks to long-standing water challenges in our cities. Equally, I would thank Pranati ma'am's account of how the Jalsathis have redefined the urban water ecosystem, creating robust citizen engagement mechanisms that not only raise awareness on the responsible water consumption, but also ensure a sharper focus on water quality. And myself, I have been closely associated with Odisha's FSSM journey from the start. So I have personally witnessed how the state's pioneering water supply and sanitation initiatives have revived the once dormant system, which was earlier fragmented and overlooked, but now it has evolved into a well-informed, resilient, and sustainable framework, one that places communities at the heart of water governance. So I would start with Pranati ma'am. Ma'am, question to you. So you talked about this involvement of Jalsathis in the water system. So how do you describe the shift? Like the conventional system was to engage agencies or contractors. So how challenging was it for people to accept the change? I mean, was it easy or it was a bit challenging?
Yeah, thank you, Suryabarti, for the question. In fact, it's not easy because bringing the women to manage water supply system, which is first of all is men's bastion. Mostly water supply system is managed by men, and accepting women as the front runners in managing water supply system itself was a challenge. But I would thank Odisha government to take this step, the decision to bring in women to lead it. It was challenging in different terms, like in terms of knowledge and expertise. The women literally struggled initially even to pronounce the some of the words and understand that how the water supply system functions. So all the households are not women uh, dealing them with, or they have to face male in the households level also. So going house to house, interacting with households and communicating the information that your water is chargeable, you have to pay for the water, there is a bill for the water, and this is the amount. So communicating all these things and operating the electronic machine, all of these were great challenges for them. But I would say that the girls, I've seen the determination and commitment in the women, and in few days they were like teaching us. So they the kind of, that says that women has all the potential. It's just an opportunity that they were looking for. Coming to the comparison, um, in terms of, see, the water supply system, the officials and the human resources are not many, and most of the time they are busy in maintenance work. They are either addressing some issue or installing some machines or something like that. So hardly we have any resources left to meet to the consumer and present a bill. It is not, I mean, we couldn't afford that many human resources. So these women really came as extra hand for the department to reach out the community, talk to people. And also, as you know, that women understand the water issue so much, and I always remember Mansee's statement that water anxiety, that water will come or not. So water anxiety, they are more resilient. Women understand the issues, they are resilient, and they are happy to manage this also, because they have dealt with so much. They come from the peri-urban area, and you know the situation there. So I would say that technically they are doing well, and also it is a win-win situation for the department and for the women. It is giving them livelihood. So it is a win-win situation, I would say. But it is not easy at all. Still now we are facing challenges. There are grievances. We need to sit with them in all the PH divisions, subdivisions, the JEs, the assistant engineers, hand in hand working with them. Every day there are issues, but we are resolving it, and it is functioning successfully.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderfully explained. So a follow-up question to Mohapatra sir. So in FSSM sector, it is the other way around. How did you convince the transgender or women self-help group to engage in fecal sludge treatment plants? I mean, there is a social stigma attached to it. It is shit and all that. So how did the government convince the SHGs to work in the fecal sludge and septage plants?
This is really the crux of the entire story. You should ask this question to the secretary of the department. How the government convinced. In fact, this is very challenging, and this is the question which everybody is asking whenever they visit us. How could you formulate these SHG
Yes.
groups? All these trades, they are all struggling to formulate this. But this is this is a political question. In fact, it's not economical question. This is a political question. So somehow or other, Odisha government invested in forming these women collectives. There is a Mission Shakti department. So there is a large administrative department which looks after this women collective. They are engaged in so many activities, and the idea is to empower them, skill them, and to provide jobs. Government jobs cannot be provided to all. So therefore, how do they earn their livelihood? So that is how, like in similar thing happened in Kerala, the Kudumbasri and all. So uh, you cannot say they are a political group, but still, because of dedication, unique dedication, these groups were collected and formed to given shape. The federations were formed, and so the challenge for us, in fact, was to convince them to do this job. So that is the question. Now, how did we convince them? Now, when the idea, this idea is Mathi sir's idea. It is a very unique idea of involving women and transgender community into the forum. Whenever he consulted, I have heard him, everybody said, no, we should not. But he said, no, women should be at the forefront. And then it is his vision, but it was executed by the ground level workforce, like Suryabarti, like the ULB officials, and people like us at the helm of affairs at the top. For example, how to train them, how to motivate them. So how did it started? How did you do it? So when it started with three or four cities in the beginning when they were all commissioned. So these groups were, there is in each ULB there is a officer, social development officer who keeps contact and keeps the rapport with them. So when they invited, they started discussing, and slowly they were taken to the plant. When they visited the plant, they were asking us, where is the plant? Because there is no plant. It is all park only. So they could not see a plant. They saw only parks, beautiful flowers and all. Then they were asked, can you do this job? They asked what to do. He said, just look, it looks so beautiful. Just maintain this park. So it should look like a park, looks tidy and green, clean and flowers and all those things. They said, yes, we can do it. And slowly the Suryabarti Majhi madam went there with her team and started teaching that, look, there is a pump, it is hidden in the room. You only press. So when you press, when there is a water level, so it pumps. When the water level goes down, you stop it. That's it. So slowly they understood their job. And then because there is no dirt, there is no smell, there is nothing. And they are also, they need not do physical work. Suppose the sludge drying, they can also engage some outside, male labor to do that job when the work is hard for them. For example, for watch and ward, they can engage a male person for watch and ward. So when they were doing it successfully in 3, 4 ULBs, then it was, it spread like wildfire. Then the attempt was made to involve the TGs when they started discussion, and they also showed some interest when it started. And then we also devised mechanism to recognize their effort even at the national level. So it was big news, and everybody got attracted. The stigma is not there, rather the prestige is there, the social elevation is there, and it is not the open defecation thing you are going to do. Is not that. So the way we designed the plant, so that was the success. I can tell you the nature-based systems and the leadership, political leadership at the top from the level of Honorable Chief Minister in those days, and the vision of our secretary, then implementers at the ground, people like all our people, the ULB officials, their team, our OWSSB officers, and the technical support units, and even Pranati madam directly, indirectly also part of this journey. So many people were involved, and when they started giving this training. I hope this answers and
Thank you, sir. Another question to you, sir. So regarding that remuneration that they are being paid, so is it enough, or there are any other options like it is being explored to increase it, or there are any other avenues where additional income may be generated for them in the FSTP?
again, this is very insightful question. You want to ask that question which I didn't cover, it seems. So government also did a standardization. We had different sizes of plants, FSTPs, starting from 10 KLD up to 75 KLD. So to standardize that, what we did, in fact, we standardized the number of persons that can be engaged in a plant. So that was done 5 or 7. If it is bigger, 2 persons more. If it is less, 5 members. And then we also standardize their remuneration, almost averaging around 15,000 rupees per month. So plus minus, there will be, I think, other factors are there, allowances and all. So, but then I will tell you, this is not enough. In a city, if you want to stay in a city, that is not enough. So this is only a remuneration. Now, to increase that, to increase the avenues of revenue, one thing is that which the government is promoting, that the byproduct, we are generating a lot of sludge. So if that sludge can be composted and be made a useful compost, they can sell that compost, and the revenue that comes can also be part of that as profit, or you can say as they are, because they will be involved. In fact, we also did a lot of work in those areas. They can have a share of that. So that will be additional revenue for them. That is also a work in progress. Co-composting and sale of that. Then the question of standardization, compost standards. So all those related issues are there. So we need to close that loop. Anyway, interesting question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So Pranati ma'am, question similar to the remuneration part. So you informed that the Jal Sathis are generating revenues, incentives in the range of 10,000 to 15,000. So is it fixed or is it performance based?
Good question, Surya. Thank you. The Jalsathis are getting remunerated in several slabs. Like first is that they get 7% of whatever they collect by themselves using the MPOS machine. Secondly, they get a 5% on all the online payments that we receive through the portal. And thirdly, they are paid 20 rupees per each water quality test. So they need to do at least 20 to 40 water quality tests per month. So by that also they are getting a remuneration. So it is very much based on the way you collect, the way you get. So it is in their hand. Not that all households are paying every month. Actually, it spills over to the next month. So we calculate bi-monthly. In bigger ULBs, they have got better, relationship built, and the system is more set now. In smaller ULBs, the number of consumers are also less, so Jalsathis are getting little less. compared to the corporations and bigger LPs. Yeah.
So what is
Hello.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes. In addition to Pranati madam, I would like to tell one thing. For new water connection, they are getting 100 rupees.
Yeah.
okay? Thank you. Thank you. And one more question, Pranati ma'am, regarding the working hours. Is it fixed or it is flexible?
It is flexible. Actually, that really inspires these Jalsathis to, give their best, because government has not set any time, particular fixed time. They can go as per their wish. They are giving 4 to 5 hours per day, depending on their work. So it is flexible, and I can relate it to the flexi hour concept brought by our MNCs now. So Odisha government has adopted that, and if a Jalsathi's child is sick, if she has some problem at home, she needn't go the day also. So it is very flexible. She can work more in a day, she can work less in a day. So that way it is, and it really suits the women who are mostly middle-aged. They have got family, and they have to take care of their children, and they don't prefer to work full time, and also some of them are into multiple activities, like multiple livelihood activities. So there is no restriction on that. Also they can do something else and also work as Jalsati, like, but not in the system. For example, if they are engaged as a Swachh Sathi, so not like that, but there is a lot of flexibility. Yeah. Thank you.
So is there a grievance redressal mechanism for them? Like if any consumer or any public misbehaves with them, or if they have difficulty in collecting the revenue, or some hindrances they face at the site. So how is it addressed by the government?
Yeah. So it is addressed multifold. First of all, there is a very open grievance redressal system at the subdivision level where they are working. They can lodge a complaint, they can talk about freely. But to set the platform to address it properly, now the gender training is also interlaced in all the trainings of Odisha Urban Academy, or other trainings are also happening. So the officials are also sensitized about the issues of the Jalsathis, and how empathetically they should listen to them. They shouldn't, even the JEs, we junior engineers have been trained about how to look at an issue, look at all aspects of the issue, non-judgmental, and all of that. Thirdly, the department is also enforcing POSH, prevention of sexual harassment at workplace. So the department has got ICC, and also the training is happening across the department on how to sensitize them.
I think it is time we can take some questions from the audience also.
Sure, sir. So Miss Misha Tandon has posted a question that who pays for the operation and maintenance of FSTP. So Mohapatra sir
I
had
have already replied. Yeah,
yes,
I have
sir.
replied.
I just want to add one line that ULB pays for the O&M from the funds received from the government. It's not from their own fund. There is dedicated funds set aside by Government of Odisha for the remuneration of these SHGs.
Okay, it's a good time that I jump in and really push the participants. If you have any burning question, or if you are still thinking, I do have some questions and I must pose it as the host also. I take the privilege, but you are still encouraged to pose some question if you have. But before I pose my question, I would also like to acknowledge that here is a classic case study of water supply and wastewater drainage system, which are taken comprehensively at one go. Maybe it is the leadership, conceptualization of the project, and both matters, because as we see in most of the cities across the country, or ULBs as we call it, there has been so much of impetus on the provision of water, which is water supply, and as compared to that, there has been, I mean, not even 50% focus on the provision or maintenance of the drainage and wastewater system. And most importantly and intriguing for me was that Odisha is no more calling it wastewater, it is calling it used water. So that's a very, I will say, very important shift to bring a perceptional change and behavioral change among the people. It is also a classic case study on PPP mode, as and importantly, how did government mobilized this campaign, and UMC's role is definitely instrumental in connecting the public sector with the private and the communities. At the same time, we have to understand we have been living in a system where there has been always an intention of the government to centralize the services. This stands as again a classic example of decentralizing the services. In a way, we are trying to return to the old school of community water management. Now, putting all these things together, it also confirms to me what I have been working on for nearly 3 decades, that water management is actually people management, and importantly, getting women on board makes it more effective and sustainable. As you saw from the entire presentation, we are actually not talking about water. We are actually talking about how the community is mobilized, how the tariffs are done. So water management is not engineering alone as it is perceived. It is not only about the flow of the water or the resource management. Importantly, if we can actually leave the water and wastewater and start managing the people, we are more than halfway done in water management. These are some of the basic learnings I put across also in summarizing the session. And I would still like to see if there are any questions from the participants. Raise your digital hand. This is your last chance to do that. I'm having 2 simple questions. How did Odisha learn that both are extremely required to run comprehensively? When I'm saying both, I'm talking about water supply and, in the national terms, wastewater. Here in Odisha, used water. And what were the key? And by the way, I also asked another question on gender to Mathi sir, but people can watch that video. And how did actually it happened that mobilizing community, or we can say mobilizing first UMC, or what were the key attributes of the campaign in terms of convincing, which has been discussed. But I still am keen to understand how did the conceptualization happen, and it also gives me a very important hint that leadership matters. I mean, we have been talking about Marty sir all the session around, but at the same time, how to run it, how to, is there any document where we can learn about the conceptualization of the project? Who would like to answer this? And some of the challenges still, apart from the challenge of redressal, as rightly mentioned by Suryabarti. No system or no policy can be 100% perfect. And
Yes.
he also mentioned some of the challenges. What are the other challenges when it will be upscaled? So I put 3 questions actually. You can just take whatever you like to.
So I would like to respond to that.
Sure, go ahead.
See, we talked so nicely as if there is no challenges, and
Absolutely. That's my job. Devil's advocate sitting here.
So we told only the sweet things, and we didn't talk about the bitter things, right? So
It's our learning.
yeah, these are learning, yes. And in fact, I had the good privilege of leading from the front and the ground, building infrastructures and see that these people are trained and all those things happening, coordinating at various levels with various actors, with officers, ULBs, and all those things. So it was never easy. It was never easy, or it was never smooth. For example, even the training of SSGs, they were not very qualified people also. And if you look at their education level, maybe class 5, class 7, or maybe illiterate also. So to teach them to talk about this technical jargon of planted gravel filter, constructed wetland, ABR,
Yes.
and all those things. How do you do it? So then we devised a lot of wall paintings, and so many creatives were designed.
Language will help.
Language, yes. So In fact, next time if you make Suryabarti as the speaker, main speaker,
Of course, she's
she
coming.
will
She has to
she
host
will
many
tell
sessions
you
now.
she will tell you how many wall paintings and how that was done and how she had to go. I had to send her to all the cities. In fact, I also accompanied her to many of the cities frequently. She traveled with her team to see that constructions are happening, qualities are maintained. There is no time lag. Even there, when there is time lag, there was COVID also. So in those COVID days also, we are working, awarding contracts. So many things happen. And also ULBs, there is transfer of officers, then the engineers. So bills will be not paid. If they are not paid in time, then not happening. Mathi sir, we did a challenge. We took 30 FSTPs, 30 ULBs, and we gave them 4 months time to complete. So it was a challenge. So then, and when we started in the beginning, nobody knew anything. I mean, nobody knew what is this FSTP, though no contractors, they had any idea. So how to do it? So initially we had built few, 3 or 4. So we called all of them for a 1 day training. The contractors, they are engineers, the ULV officer, then they are engineers. And
So
even,
it's all people management. There's no water
yeah,
in it.
and then our TSU groups. So all our novice. Even we also didn't have, we studied in abroad everywhere, but to handle all these kind of things. So I took a class. Then there was prep talks by Mathi sir and the DMA. I took them to the field. I took them to a finished product. See, this is what it should look like, and this is how it looks like, and the construction drawings and designs. So it was a long, long process. We
Of course, of
and
course.
then SHG to so this SHG also to train them, and then there will be midway there will be reluctance. They will simply disappear. Okay. And
True.
then there will be also, we also devise KPIs also.
Hmm.
Now there are, we are also monitoring the performances of FSTPs,
Mhm.
the capacity utilization. So there are so many things and many of our partners in Alliance and all, they were helping us, in designing and helping us in all along us. So you can say because we built a very nice partnership with everybody. So that was you can say, the blessing in disguise. That was
Yeah.
the real solution, you can say.
Yeah, we have to start closing the session, but importantly, why it is important to know the challenges, because this is also the Amrit project which we are bringing in to upscale. And it is a good time for me to announce the next session, because we are going to start discussing restarting the Riverscape series on Wednesdays for Water on September 17th, when we start talking about riverfront design, development, destruction, and disaster. And just to make it very interesting here, it is going to be series touching upon many cities. We are starting with Pune, but I wanted to start with Ahmedabad, because Ahmedabad riverfront is going to be role model for 100 riverfronts in the country. And that is why it is extremely important to learn the challenges and how can we minimize the challenge in upscaling, which is why this question becomes extremely important, how to learn the challenges so that the Amrit project is really taking it up in upscaling it. Do keep tuned to us. And I don't see people asking questions. They are immersed in your conversation and our conversation. But the last announcement I would like to make, that we would like you to get into our water festival, which is on 26th and 27th of September, Aqualogs 2025. It is an event by invitation. So if you are working in the water sector, if you are interested, you may write to us. The chat box, the information is there. It's at Ahmedabad University, co-hosted with W4W Foundation, but the main host is Ahmedabad University, where I'm teaching Water Studio to the foundation program. With this, we have to bring a closure to the session. Thank you so much, Pranati, Prasanta, and Suryabarti. I also want to propose to you, why not we use those paintings and have a session on Friday Water Arts, and just make it an art project. Why not? Because
Yes.
why do we have to see it as awareness project only? So community art, like community water management, this is a proposal for you, but I'm definitely coming back to you to host the session also sometimes for us. And Pranati, it's always good to have you with us. Thanks, Prasanta. Thanks all the participants here. Do stay tuned with us. We are going to close also this September season 5 and start season 6 after the water festival. We are booked till November 3rd, November end. But if you have some stories, some work around water, do reach out to us. We are very happy to host you and extend our water family. We do wish to keep extending the family because we are minority. And importantly, invitation to Pranati and Suryabarti to please join us on Monday Munching and Musing with Women for Water, where we celebrate the life of women in the water sector. We don't talk water, we talk women. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you
Please
very
take
much.
care.
Thank you
See
very
you.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much, Mansee.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, Mansee.